Hello. So in February 2010, a limited series title on the Vertigo imprint, first issue was released by Brazilian twins Fabio Moon and Gabriel Ba, and I have to say it has become one of my all-time favourite books. It's emotional, it's inspiring, it is just an unbelievably charming book to read. It is of course the 2011 Eisner Award winning Daytripper. I have absolutely no idea how I am going to do this book any justice in a review. I will of course attempt to, otherwise why am I here? But it is, I think it's an incredibly personal book, and you may not have got what I got out of it. You may have found more to it, but I think even the most hard-hearted cynics will find something in this book that would touch them. Now, if you don't mind, I'm going to indulge myself and I'm going to read a couple of pages from it. I think it best describes the nature of the book, what you are likely to expect, and it's just beautifully written by Fabio Moon. So, if you'll allow me, this is a dialogue between our main character and his son. Dad, thank God you're here. Grandpa said you were going to tell me a story. He did? Yeah, but he didn't tell me what about. He said only you could say. Well, I guess it's a story about death. Death? It's really about life, but death has a big part in it. I don't like death. No one really does. But truth is, like it or not, everybody dies. Life is like a book, son, and every book has an end. No matter how much you like that book, you will get to the last page, and it will end. No book is complete without its end, and once you get there, only when you read the last words will you see how good the book is. It feels real. Oh, Mama. I'll just do the basics of this first, just to get you a feel of the characters and the kind of narrative that the book takes. Our main character is Brás de Oliveira Domingos. He is an obituary writer for a local newspaper, and he's an aspiring novel writer at night. And the book takes us through the many ages of our main character. Now, whether that with him being a child, whether it being a teenager, whether it being an old man, or in his early 20s. But at the end of every issue, our main character dies. I can only imagine what someone thought when they read the first issue when the main character died. You'd be like, what? Where are we going to go now? And it is strange because in the next one, in the second issue, it's him at the age of 21. And you get the idea that, okay, this is going to be done in flashbacks. It's really good. But then you get to the end of issue 2 and he dies. And you think, what? So again, some part of me wishes I'd read this in singles. I really do. But at the same time, I think reading this in a trade is a much more fulfilling experience. in the sense that you can, if you've got the time, just read it all in one and soak up the brilliance of, you know, Fabio Moon's writing. He's so eloquent in how he writes his stories, and Gabriel Ba's beautiful artwork. It's charming, it's unassuming. It deals with so many universal themes that affect us all, which is why I say, you know, I don't care how hard-hearted you think you are. I don't care how much of a cynic you think you are. You will be moved by at least one part of this book. I mean, it deals just with life choices, with your choices in love, relationships, your friendships, your career, your family. It is just all in there in 10 nice little issues. The endings are just fantastic. I mean, okay, once you get to maybe issue 3 or 4, you know that, you know, your character is going to die. You've picked up on this kind of narrative that is going to happen. But the fact is, these endings, they range from the unexpected to, you know, coming out of completely left field. You don't know how. Sometimes it's violent, always emotional, always inspiring, and at times it's just unbelievably tragic. And, you know, so many times through reading this book, I was welling up. I don't care, I'll admit it. I mean, the last chapter, there were just tears running down my face. It's a completely emotional tour de force. When you get, it's chapter 8 that is the killer. I swear to God. Part 8 is called 47, when our character Brass is at that age, but he doesn't appear once in any panel. Every other issue he's in it, but in part 8 he doesn't. It's his wife and his child. His narrative is still there in really clever ways, but he doesn't appear in it, and it is, oh. And then to follow it up with part 9, which is the only issue that doesn't have him at an age, and it's called Dreams. And it's called Dreams because he appears at every age he's been. And then, of course, the last part, where he's an old man and he's prepared himself and he's lived his life. He's accepted that, yes, he is now going to die. And too much. It's just amazing. There are some, you know, it's not like, say, yes, sure, it's all about death, but there are some beautiful, beautiful moments in there. Part 5, when you see him as a child of 11 and his holidays and trips to this countryside villa where all his family converge of generation of generations. And it's just lovely to see all the interactions between the characters, and it really just takes you back to an age of your childhood that you may or possibly could have had, where, you know, you had these family holidays away and you had that anticipation of getting there, and then never wanting to leave. And in a way, you just don't never want to leave this book. I mean, we can't go away without talking about, you know, Gabriel Ba's beautiful art, this lovely, muted, kind of painted artwork. The character of Brass, you know, Gabriel Ba really put a lot of thought into this character. And whatever age you see him at within each particular issue, you know that is your main character. No shadow of a doubt is... You can see the similarities. You can see how he is either, you know, aged or how young he is. It is definitely our main character, and it is just beautiful. It's a stunning book. Thank you, Melbournian Comic Fan, for recommending me this. I am just so mad at myself that I didn't pick this up much earlier. Thank you very much. So that is February's Viewer's Choice. For March, I'm going to do something a little bit different. You're still going to pick the book for me, but what I'm going to do is I have must be over 150 channels that I subscribe to now, and while I may not comment on every single one of your videos, I'm definitely watching them. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to watch or re-watch maybe 2 weeks worth of your videos, because everyone's always buying stuff, or everyone's always saying you must pick this up, or I thoroughly recommend this book. So I'm going to go back. So it's still your choice, but I'm going to pick it from your videos. Of course, not every one of you does videos. So if you've seen a video lately that someone recommended a book and you bought it and you thought it was good, or you've read it as well and thought it was good, put it in as a video response so I can go and have a look, just in case I'm not subscribed to them and I don't know about them. You can add another channel to my subscription list. So yeah, that's the theme this week. I'm going to go back and look at your videos, see what you're recommending, and pick a title from there. And again, if you don't do videos, go and put a video response at the bottom of a video that you've recently seen that has a good book in it. Again, remember, I need to be able to get it easily from Amazon. It must be in a trade, and that's it. I really didn't do Daytripper justice. I really didn't. It is just an amazing book. Completely personal book to the reader. Really. If you don't think this book is for you, then it is. That's all I can say. Thank you for watching.